Breaking right now, Vice President Harris's campaign, which just began today, has announced a whopping $81 million fundraising haul since she entered the race. That is the largest 24-hour total of any candidate in U.S. history.
And that is why the Republican Party is running scared right now. Now, again, the Democrat Party got a lot of issues. And one of the issues right now is, taking care of the people that's putting them in office, mainly black people and especially black women, but also stop infighting and coalesce around one candidate. Right now, Kamala Harris is the best right now because, again, they got the pot. Biden-Harris got the pot, and Biden turned it over to Harris. So you can't do an open primary right now. You got to pick a candidate, and she's the top candidate. I will be honest with you right now and say, if this was an open primary and there were about 5 or 10 people vying for the spot, Kamala Harris would not be in my top 3. But right now, especially with her background and running on the Biden-Harris record, she is in the best possible position to challenge Donald Trump. Anybody would be in that position had they been vice president to challenge Donald Trump. And we all know that Donald Trump is afraid to lose anything. So he's going to throw in a curveball and say everything was rigged. Even when he wins, it wasn't by the margin he wants to win. So he says it was rigged. So now here's what they're doing.
Biden, as of this morning, it does not look like he is going anywhere. But if he does step down, you said this week the Republicans are likely to bring legal challenges against any attempts to replace Biden on the Democratic ticket. How would that work?
Well, these elections are handled at the state level. Every state has its own system. And in some of these, it's not possible to simply just switch out a candidate who has been chosen through the small d democratic process over such a long period of time. 14 million Democrats voted to make Joe Biden the nominee. So it would be wrong and I think unlawful in accordance to some of these states' rules for a handful of people to go in a back room and switch it out because they don't like the candidate any longer. That's not how this is supposed to work. So I think they would run into some legal impediments in at least a few of these jurisdictions. And I think there'll be a compelling case to be made that shouldn't happen. And so I think they've got legal trouble if that's their that's their intention and that's their plan. So we'll see how it plays out. We don't know.
No one can sue. There's no reason, there's no basis, there's no standing for suing anybody. But they're running scared, and that was Sunday. This was before Biden stepped down as far as being a presidential candidate. They're still doubling down on that, try to sue people because they want to make an excuse for when and if they lose.
Well, what specific law are the Democrats breaking, are you alleging, by including her if she is the nominee at the top of the ticket? You said you may sue her in all 50 states. What are you alleging that they're breaking?
I never said I was going to sue her. I said that we have 50 different systems in each of the states when it comes to presidential elections and choosing electors and all the rest. And in some of the states, there are impediments to just switching someone out like that.
That was today. Now, I'm pretty sure they got lawyers at the RNC going through state laws and try to figure out what can they do to try to impede this from happening. But it's going to happen. And also, Donald Trump was up all night. Now, that video went on to say that if Joe Biden stepped out of the presidential race, then maybe he should resign as president because if he can't run a campaign, he can't run the country. No, the man can still run the country. That's the narrative that they're trying to put out there now, that Biden can't run the country because he can't run a campaign, because they really wanted Joe Biden. And hey, I really wanted Joe Biden, but they really wanted him to run because he wasn't going to challenge all of Donald Trump's lies. Now we got somebody out there that can challenge Trump's lies, and they are afraid of that. What do you think?